My name is Mark Ellerman, and I'm Vice President with FMS. And we are excited to introduce to the marketplace and to our customers a company called SEQR Mobile Payments. And a little bit more about FMS. We've been in business since 1974, and our sole purpose is helping independent grocers succeed. And we focus in the areas of accounting and payroll software and services. So our customers, just like any supermarket operator, need to control expenses. And about a year ago when we met SEQR, we recognized immediately that they had a different focus and a different set of processes that would really be an advantage to the supermarket operator, in that a new way to control the interchange fees involved in doing business. So what I would like to do now is to introduce them and to hand the ball off to Daniel Bestmark with SEQR.
Okay, so we want to take you through a little bit of a journey into the future, a journey of today, and talk to you a little bit about the learnings that we've had in the mobile channel, working with retailers such as yourself across the world, and helping them, capitalize on this new thing called mobile marketing or mobile payments, mobile solutions, really. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start sharing my screen, and instead of us just taking you through some really long and extended presentation, we really like this to be a very engaging type of session. So please feel free to ask questions. There is a little chat box which you can just put the questions there that you find immediately important, or we can do a Q&A session afterwards. I have two of my colleagues with me, Cristina Garcia, who's our VP of Integrations and IT Support, and then Daryl Abraham, who's our SVP of Business Development. So both Daryl and Cristina will help me also answering some of those questions as we move along. SEQR is a new player that has entered the market, and what we do is we offer consumers the ability to pay with their mobile device at various payment locations. So it can be at a restaurant, it can be at a parking, it can be at a supermarket, it can be online, it can actually be on a billboard. So we're a very broadly presented product or solution that is used by consumers at merchants, at point of sale. We've been doing this for a while. We're live in 12 different markets. Originally, we come from Sweden. It's a little country up north in the European hemisphere. So Sweden is interesting simply because in Sweden there are 97% of all the transactions in a retail environment goes through our electronic means. So that is, cash is almost no longer part of the ecosystem in Sweden. So we ventured off from developing the leading technology to that population, and then we started spreading out our success across the world. And United States is obviously the most strategic market for us, and in the last 2 years we've established ourselves here with attaining various forms of operational capacities with partners. We're achieving some money transmitting licenses, and that's rather the boring story, right? I mean, we're listed on the NASDAQ. We have 13 years of experience. 3.2 billion transactions are passed through our systems annually. But what we're here today is to talk to you about some of the more exciting stuff, and that is how we've helped hundreds of clients really understand better and capitalize on this new thing that is called mobile consumer engagement. It's not a one-size-fits-all, we understand that, but what we try to do is differentiate between the different consumer demands today, and by consumer we mean end consumers, and we also try to approach the clientele, or that is the merchant relationships that we have, also from the same point of view that we're approaching the consumers. So one thing is consumers want to shop on demand, and it's important today, we feel, for retailers to reach out to the consumers so that they can choose where they want to shop. So on the left-hand side, you see the shopping on demand, and the shopping on demand is really a secure omni-channel approach. So that is, we've ventured off from allowing a customer to pay at the point of sale in a retail footfall environment to really merging over our products into more of the innovative space, including an instant checkout online. We have a thing called Shop on the Spot, which is a customer can go to a billboard, or they can look at a magazine, look at the ad, look at the product, and instead of pushing them to go to some website or calling a 1-800 number, they can actually scan the QR code and actually ship that product to their house or as a gift to somebody else. So we feel that shopping on demand and the multi-channel strategy is something that a technology strategic partner like us can really help you drive forward. In the middle there, you have localization and personalization. And I'm sure everybody has heard big names called like big data and CRM, you know, the strategy of engaging with consumers at the most relevant time. Perhaps some of you have some loyalty programs established there. And what SEQR is trying to do is to help you ease in an easier engagement with the customer, allowing them to become a loyalty customer. We can integrate the existing loyalty scheme into the SEQR interface. And we're also working with you to give customers cash rewards. So for instance, there is a very successful kind of our own in-house loyalty scheme where we give up to 3% cash back, depending on the purchase patterns of the consumer. We are doing a lot of business intelligence at SEQR, so we have dedicated or unique offers specifically to those purchase patterns. We've worked, for instance, with Coca-Cola in some of our other markets where we are specifically targeting a specific demographic for them to reach out. So this is all virgin ground, but as the more we understand about the customer, the more dedicated offers they are able to get. And again, we can do coupon offers within our application, so we're fairly open to working bespoke with each relationship to understand what is your driver within the loyalty aspect. And the far right, you see simplicity and speed, and this is kind of our key asset, simply because we never charge for starting with our service. For the consumers, the end consumers, it never costs anything to pay with SEQR. Similar as with the credit card industry, obviously the consumers are not the ones picking up the check. It's usually picked up by the merchants. With SEQR, obviously the consumer never pays for anything. They only get the benefits from using the mobile device and all the offers and so forth that comes with it. But for the merchant, it's really important here because we can offer you an ability to get up and running at no cost. You can start saving from day one, and by saving, we have a unique platform which goes around the credit card industry. So that is, we're connected directly to the automated clearing house, the ACH system. So a secure platform has connected to the wide United States banking network, allowing any customer with a bank account to connect that to the SEQR application and do the transaction at the merchant point of sale location. So when we're talking about saving on transactional fees, we can proudly announce that we will be able to cut at least 50% of your current average cost. But in addition to that, with SEQR, you will be cutting down your fraud exposure. There is about some lost statistics that I've seen in the 3% level of card fraud that is happening at point of sale today in the United States. We can cut that down basically to zero. And also we help you eliminate some of that operational cost, which can be associated with a customer swiping first their loyalty card and their payment card. So SEQR is at least as quick, if not quicker, than checking out with a regular banking or paying card. So let me just switch here and show you a quick video so we can demonstrate how it works. It's just 24 seconds, so bear with me. This is an example of how we're working with McDonald's. So I hope we were able to showcase that. It's really that simple. As a matter of fact, the SEQR application is available in the app stores today. That is the iOS and the Android or Google Play market. You can try it out. Obviously, we're not well presented right now as we're just launching in the United States, but you can play around with the application and you can actually today buy some of the offers that we uploaded into the application. So it's really a straightforward, not very deep customer experience where we want to make sure that the customer is able to tap on the phone and within the split of a second put in their PIN code and pay. What happens in the background is obviously much more complex, but that's not anything that you as a merchant or the customer should ever worry about. The settlement process is similar to a card transaction. That is, you would receive those funds within the next 2 business days, and is basically just a bank account to bank account transfer. So we really don't involve any unnecessary plays. So it's just the customer's issuing bank and the merchant's acquiring bank, or the settlement bank account that is really being processed between the system. We've showed you an interface where we showed you a McDonald's instance. We can also work with you to embed secure capabilities into your existing applications. We have some experience in this space. Some of our merchants prefer to embed it simply because they want to maintain that customer ownership and so forth. But what we're really seeing is that the success of SEQR is really to have an agnostic payment across multiple mobile platforms and across all the different stores. So that is, for you as a merchant, today there is a big question, like who do you choose to offer? Because there is plenty of mobile solutions out there. And what SEQR is really about is an agnostic payment platform. So you've probably heard that Apple pays out. There is a Google or an Android Pay initiative coming out very soon. Or you've heard about Google Wallet, but they're now rebranding it to Android Pay. There's also a Samsung Pay. But all of these other players, as I've mentioned, they're not agnostic. They're not non-differentiable across the platforms. So it's going to be difficult to really choose and have different infrastructures in place. With SEQR, it's literally as simple as putting up the QR code, and anybody with a smartphone can start using it. So how do we do this? The card payment industry is quite advanced. I mean, I've spent years with Citibank, with Visa, at PayPal, and over the last 60 years, that industry has become very advanced. That is, it's amazing to see that you can, just use a 4-digit PIN and pay with that 4-digit PIN at retail locations. You can also travel with that card, go to an ATM, pull out a local currency in another country. It works. But however, it's grown somewhat complex. There is a issuing bank, there is an acquiring bank, there is a payment processor, there is the payment networks. So there are a lot of, in our view, unnecessary players in that ecosystem. With SEQR, it's really just the merchant bank account and the customer bank account, and SEQR, who's really just shifting the money from receiving an authorization of the user from their bank account to your bank account. And hence, we can more or less cut down the card cost by minimum 50%, and we can also eliminate some of those elements like fraud and just a non-effective operational capacity by the customer opening up a plastic rather than always having the phone with them. So it's really down to profitability from day one. What we know today, here are some basic stats. 75% of your customers are coming into your stores today with a mobile device. More than 15% of those customers already have experience from shopping on their mobile phone. And I'm not talking about shopping like applications and so forth. I'm talking about really using the device in a retail or in an online environment to purchase goods and services. So it's really just about doing a waterfall analysis to say how much payment volume is going through your facilities in a given month. Out of that payment volume, we can probably anticipate that if you would work with us to shift some of that current card volume to be instead with SEQR, there would be savings. I don't think that it's going to be shift within a month to 50% of customers paying with their mobile device. But what we've noticed working closely with our partners in many other markets is we can expect about 5% and an immediate effect, probably growing to 15% over the course of 12 months. Depends on how effective you roll it out. But it's really within your best interest that if you want to offer a more innovative solution for customers to pay, you can start saving on that effort, again, from day one. Because SEQR takes care of the integration cost. That is, you have a point of sale system. If we, after this phone call, would like to open up a dialogue, we would then either together with you or by our own means negotiate an integration capacity together with that point of sale system. It's quite light integration, but once that is done, we basically send you out a QR code, we'll help you install it, we'll help out with all the marketing and the education, and it's really a no cost to set up. There is no monthly fees, there is no annual licenses fees for using this. It's just a contract to accept secure payments. And to accept secure payments, the contract stipulates that we will discount significantly your existing card processing fees. So let me just take you to the new stuff, right? So paying at point of sale, that's already been done, and that market will definitely evolve. But here is a way for you to think a little more creatively about introducing new revenue streams. So examples of our Manhattan campaign that is running right now, where on Broadway, customers can look at a billboard and just purchase a spontaneous product. But imagine shifting this billboard, for instance, to a magazine or to a poster outside the store. So customers can scan the QR code exactly as they would, for instance, in a store environment or online, and they can, within the application, see the offer, choose which address they want to ship it to. Again, it can be to their home, to their office, or to somebody that they care about. For instance, coming Christmas, you might want to take some of your SKUs that you know is of high demand on Christmas and just put it across in a geographical area. So we will help you with some of those learnings. Again, there is no cost involved in setting this up. We help you design the layout. I mean, the technology works as it is, and it's really a click and pay exercise. Some customers are feeding back to us that they were able to do a checkout in this environment within the 2 minutes. I talked a little bit about our SEQR reward program. What we have offered is that if a customer is an active user, that is, they're doing more than 20 transactions per month, they're getting 3% cash back. How can we do this? Well, our cost base is quite low. So again, we don't incur costs such as the issuing banks or the acquiring banks would do, because they need to share it with many others in the ecosystem. With our solution, we kind of drive customer adoption. Together with you, we drive customer acquisition. We try to get them on board and educate them to try it out the first time. But then SEQR kicks in and launches our own loyalty programs to help the customer adopt, to transact more oftenly at your locations. What we've noticed is that there is an exponential growth. We've tried this out with a number of brands and in addition to merchants. And once we kick in those kind of loyalty and ads and offers, I mean, it's an exponential growth. But it's really about how ready you are as a partner to focus on this. Because we, as a technology service provider, can only do so much. You know your customers better. You know which offers are more interesting for them. For some customers, it might be a free cappuccino when right after they're finished shopping. For some others, it can be a discount on a specific SKU that you want to increase sales on. So it's really just working with us and understand how can we give you the technology and the support to figure out this very complex space, but make it extremely simple, both for the customers and for you to start using it. The next slide, and I'm just about done. shows you a little bit of the instant checkout. And there's a lot of instant checkouts out there. I did mention my experience with PayPal. There's a V.me, there's an Amazon checkout button. When we've compared our instant checkout capacity, it was actually the quickest of all of the solutions out there. And we're happy to show you in an A/B kind of testing environment really how effective SEQR is. Not sure how many this is relevant for, not sure how many are selling their products and services online, but it's definitely something that if you do, we can help you optimize that checkout process. We can send you a lot of customer testimonies. These are some from quite well-known companies. There's McDonald's, obviously. Colruyt Group has over 6,000 locations across in France and Belgium, working closely with them. And there is plenty of things online as well that you can research of the success that SEQR is bringing to merchants and to retailers in general. So it's really about, are you ready? Mobile payments has been part of our lives for the last, say, 6-7 years, but it's really only in 2014 and 2015 where we've seen a tremendous growth. And that growth is referenced back to the fact that majority of customers today have a smartphone. Not only do they have a smartphone, we've grown accustomed with that smartphone. So really when we're leaving the house, it's about making sure that you have your phone with you have your keys with you, and you have your wallet with you. What we are seeing is that more and more customers are actually starting to leave their wallet at home. Or maybe not at home, but for instance, if I'm standing in my in the car and I know that there is a merchant that is accepting SEQR, I don't need to carry around that wallet. I mean, I have my loyalty cards in the SEQR application. I know that I can check out with SEQR. It's easier for me. So really, it's about leaving one of those three things at home or in the office or in the car and just simplifying the life for the customer. So just to recap, next steps. If you're interested, the only thing we would like to do is to offer you a very interesting offer. So a merchant agreement. And together with FMS, we wanted to drive an immediate response to this. So we said, what's going to be a no-brainer type of offer? And we said, okay, what if we offer to take on SEQR at no integration cost and at no fee whatsoever until the end of the year? So up until end of 2015, if you want to move forward specifically in the month of August, work with us, sign off an agreement. We can sign off that agreement at 0% acceptance. Following that promotional period, we will still be able to have much lower cost than your current card processing fees. And once again, that is an indefinite period. There is no catch to it. There is the only cost of accepting SEQR is really a transactional cost, which is lower than accepting cards. And with that, I'd like to thank you so much for participating in today's webinar. My contact details are here. Obviously, any of my colleagues, Daryl, Christina, we can always be reached through our partners at FMS. We're very keen and very open on having any type of dialogue and to just help you get more comfortable with how you can capitalize on this opportunity together with SEQR, or maybe just get some feedback on some of the other technology that you're looking at out there. And we certainly would like to be your partner.